In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 11 olive oil brands sitting on grocery shelves right now. Brands that are blended, oxidized, chemically deodorized, and in some cases, not even olive oil at all. If you thought extra virgin meant quality, you need to see this. We're talking hidden seed oils, mystery blends, and fake Italian branding that fools millions. Stick around, because at the end, I'll reveal 4 brands that are actually pure, so you can switch today and protect your body from toxic imposters. When you see great value on the shelf at Walmart, your first instinct might be to trust the brand because of its reach and affordability. But when it comes to olive oil, this label is hiding something more dangerous than just budget ingredients. It's hiding deception. Despite being labeled extra virgin, Great Value's olive oil fails to meet the standards of purity expected from true extra virgin oil. Independent food fraud investigations have uncovered what's actually inside many of these bottles. A blend of seed oils, including soybean, sunflower, and canola, mixed with low-grade olive oil, then chemically deodorized to mask rancid smells. The result? A product that looks like olive oil and tastes like nothing. No bitterness, no peppery finish, no grassy aroma, because the antioxidants, polyphenols, and volatile compounds that make olive oil healthy have been stripped or never existed in the first place. To make matters worse, Great Value bottles their oil in clear plastic, which allows light to destroy any remaining beneficial compounds before the bottle even reaches your kitchen. There's no harvest date, no country of origin, and no third-party testing or certifications. In other words, there's zero accountability. What you're getting isn't extra virgin. It's olive-flavored industrial seed oil dressed in budget packaging. The price may be low, but the real cost is your health, your trust, and your body's long-term exposure to oils it was never meant to process. Pompeian has positioned itself as one of America's most trusted olive oil brands, filling supermarket shelves from coast to coast. But behind that patriotic branding and budget-friendly price tag lies a pattern that experts and independent labs have been warning about for years. Pompeian repeatedly fails purity tests for real extra virgin olive oil. Multiple third-party investigations comparing supermarket olive oils against international extra virgin standards have found Pompeian's oils showing clear signs of oxidation, age, and adulteration. Extra virgin olive oil should be cold-pressed, fresh, aromatic, and rich in natural antioxidants. Pompeian's oil often lacks all of these markers. Instead, these bottles regularly contain high free fatty acid levels, a chemical indicator that the olives were bruised, mishandled, or stored for long periods before pressing, conditions that lead directly to rancidity. Even more concerning are findings of possible refinement markers, meaning the oil may have been deodorized or blended with lower-grade oils to mask defects. This is the exact chemical process used to fix old or poor-quality olive oil so it appears acceptable to consumers, even though it has lost its nutritional value. Transparency is another issue. Pompeian provides no harvest dates, no single origin products in its standard line, and no meaningful traceability. Their bottles are blended from oils sourced across multiple countries, passing through industrial facilities where quality becomes an afterthought. Consumers think they're buying an everyday extra virgin option. Instead, they're getting a product that has failed the very standards that define extra virgin olive oil, again and again. For decades, Filippo Berio has sold the illusion of quality through classic Italian branding and gold-labeled bottles. But behind the elegant design is a product that no longer represents authenticity, purity, or real extra virgin olive oil. In fact, Filippo Berio has become one of the most criticized brands in olive oil purity investigations. Their so-called extra virgin olive oil is routinely blended from multiple countries, including Spain, Tunisia, and Greece, then bottled in Italy simply so they can legally print "imported from Italy" on the label. But that phrase doesn't mean what consumers think it means. It doesn't guarantee quality. It just means the final bottling occurred on Italian soil, regardless of where the olives were grown or processed. Even more alarming are the results from independent lab tests. Filippo Berio bottles have shown elevated free fatty acid levels, a clear sign of oil degradation. Some samples have tested positive for chemical markers that suggest deodorization, a process that removes bad odors from low-quality or expired oils, typically used to make them pass as extra virgin to unsuspecting customers. There is no harvest date, no estate or grove listed, and no third-party certification on most bottles. The brand survives on legacy recognition and shelf presence, not quality. If you're buying Filippo Berio for the name, you're paying for a reputation the company hasn't lived up to in years. What's inside the bottle doesn't match what the label promises, not even close. Bertolli may be the most recognizable olive oil brand in the United States, but recognition isn't the same as reputation. Once synonymous with Italian quality, Bertolli has become a textbook case of a company trading on legacy while quietly cutting corners. What's in the bottle today has little in common with the oil that built its name generations ago. Bertolli has been named in multiple lawsuits for misleading labeling, including using the extra virgin designation on oils that did not meet international standards. Independent lab testing has shown Bertolli products containing oxidized compounds, suggesting the olives were not processed promptly or properly. In some cases, chemical markers revealed that the oil had likely been blended with refined oils, stripping it of the antioxidants and polyphenols that make extra virgin olive oil a superfood. Even worse, many bottles labeled "imported from Italy" actually contain oils from Greece, Tunisia, and Spain, only bottled in Italy to exploit a loophole in labeling laws. The olives aren't Italian. The oil isn't pure. And yet millions trust the name because they recognize it from childhood. There's also no harvest date on the label, a critical piece of transparency when it comes to freshness and potency. Without it, there's no way to know if you're consuming oil that's already degraded. Bertolli's market power is built on nostalgia. But if you're buying it today, you're not getting premium olive oil. You're getting a mass-market product coasting on its past. Trader Joe's has built a cult-like following for its quirky branding and budget-friendly pricing. But when it comes to olive oil, affordability hides a deeper issue: inconsistency, oxidation, and chemical deadness. Most consumers assume Trader Joe's olive oil is trustworthy simply because of the store's reputation. But when you look at what's actually inside those bottles, the truth gets murky, literally. Trader Joe's standard extra virgin olive oil offers no harvest date, no specific region of origin, and no third-party certifications. That's 3 red flags in one. Olive oil is a fragile, seasonal product. Without a harvest date, you're most likely buying oil that's well over a year old, already oxidized and stripped of its core health benefits. Multiple independent tests have revealed flat taste profiles and high acidity levels in Trader Joe's oils, signs of age, mishandling, or improper storage. And that's the problem. It's not that Trader Joe's oil is outright toxic, it's that it's functionally dead. No real antioxidants, no peppery bite, no vibrant aroma. You might as well be cooking with generic vegetable oil because the olive-derived health benefits are long gone by the time this oil hits your kitchen. Trader Joe's sells a romantic narrative of simplicity and value. But in this case, the low price tag delivers an oil that's empty of life, flavor, and function. If you're using olive oil for your health, skip the bargain bin, especially when what you're really getting is shelf-stable silence in a bottle. Costco's Kirkland Signature brand is often praised for delivering high value at a low cost, and in some categories that reputation is deserved. But when it comes to olive oil, bulk processing ruins everything that makes extra virgin oil worth using in the first place. On paper, Kirkland's extra virgin olive oil sounds promising. It's sometimes sourced from reputable producers and even carries third-party certification on select batches. But here's the problem. Those good batches are the exception, not the rule. Kirkland's supply chain relies on mass purchasing and massive storage. Olive oil is often shipped in giant steel tanks, stored for long periods, then bottled in bulk. By the time it reaches the shelf, or your pantry, the oil has likely oxidized due to exposure to air, light, and heat. Even high-quality oil at harvest can degrade rapidly under these industrial conditions. Lab testing on various Kirkland batches has revealed inconsistent results. Some pass extra virgin standards, Others show signs of rancidity or refinement. And since Kirkland doesn't include harvest dates on all bottles, there's no way to know what you're actually getting. The plastic bottles and transparent labeling allow light to destroy delicate polyphenols, the compounds responsible for olive oil's anti-inflammatory benefits. So even if the oil was good at bottling, it's chemically compromised by the time you use it. Kirkland olive oil might look like a bargain, but it's a gamble, and when it comes to your health, gambling on bulk is a losing bet. Goya has earned a strong foothold in American and Latin American households, known for its wide range of pantry staples. But when it comes to olive oil, what Goya delivers isn't quality. It's commodity oil with zero transparency and an outdated standard of production. At first glance, the Goya olive oil label appears legitimate. It carries the extra virgin title, often displays a Mediterranean flag, and comes in a premium bottle. But dig deeper, and everything falls apart. There is no harvest date, no estate name, no traceable origin, just vague references to countries like Spain or Italy. And even those may only refer to the bottling site, not the actual source of the olives. Independent tests have shown inconsistencies in quality, with some Goya bottles showing signs of oxidation and elevated acidity. The oil often tastes flat, greasy, or stale, all indicators that the olives were not cold-pressed promptly or may have been stored too long before processing. The biggest red flag? No third-party certification. In a market flooded with fake or adulterated olive oils, brands that care about quality go out of their way to verify it. Goya doesn't. They rely on price and shelf presence, not accountability. Goya's olive oil is mass-produced to hit price points, not health standards. It's designed to move volume, not to deliver nutritional value. And without transparency, you're left trusting a brand that offers no real reason to be trusted. It's olive oil in name, but not in substance. Mantova looks the part. Elegant labeling, Italian typography, a gold foil top that screams premium. But what's inside the bottle tells a completely different story. A mass-market industrial oil disguised as high-end. Marketed as an authentic Italian olive oil, Mantova relies heavily on visual cues and branding to create the illusion of quality. But behind the sleek exterior lies bulk-sourced oil, often blended from multiple countries with no transparency about origin, harvest date, or processing methods. The phrase, "product of Italy," on the label? It usually means the bottling happened in Italy, not the harvesting, not the pressing, and not the growing. Independent lab testing has flagged Mantova's oil for failing extra virgin standards, including high acidity and the absence of polyphenol-rich compounds, the exact markers that define a fresh, healthy olive oil. Worse still, the oil is packaged in clear glass bottles, which allow light to penetrate and rapidly degrade what little quality might be left. The taste? Flat, greasy, lifeless, no peppery bite, no grassy aroma, just an oil that functions more like a neutral cooking fat than a nutrient-rich staple. Mantova is built for appearance, not performance. Consumers are led to believe they're buying a boutique Italian product, but the reality is closer to a commodity oil dressed in a tuxedo. It's branding over quality, marketing over substance. And the price? You're paying for the bottle, not what's inside it. Rachael Ray may be a trusted name in the kitchen, but her olive oil, that's where the trust ends. What looks like a quality product is actually a classic case of celebrity branding slapped on bottom-shelf oil, with virtually no control over what's inside the bottle. Let's be clear, Rachael Ray doesn't produce olive oil. She doesn't farm, press, or oversee production. Her name is simply licensed out to the lowest bidder, and that's exactly what you're getting. This is a white-label product designed to capitalize on brand recognition, not nutritional integrity. What's missing? Everything that matters. There's no harvest date, no estate information, and no country of origin transparency. The oil is blended from unnamed sources, often across multiple regions, with zero third-party verification. In other words, you have no idea where this oil comes from, and that's intentional. Taste tests reveal an oil that's flat, dull, and lifeless, lacking the bitterness or spice that define real extra virgin olive oil. This suggests oxidation or low-grade blending, both of which rob the oil of its health benefits and flavor complexity. The branding may be polished, but the oil is pure commodity. It's made for volume sales and supermarket appeal, not quality, not purity, and certainly not the standards a home chef should expect. You're not buying olive oil. You're buying a celebrity signature on a bottle of untraceable, nutritionally bankrupt fat. If there's one olive oil brand that truly lives at the bottom of the quality ladder, it's Iberia. Found in the ethnic food aisle and often sold at rock-bottom prices, Iberia isn't just low cost, it's low everything. Low quality, low traceability, and low nutritional value. Despite carrying the label extra virgin, Iberia's olive oil consistently fails to meet the basic standards that define that term. Independent lab tests have flagged the presence of refined oils, which are stripped of antioxidants, deodorized to remove rancid smells, and then repackaged as something they're not. In some cases, Iberia's oil may contain blends of seed oils like soybean or canola, oils that have no place in a product claiming to be 100% olive. There is no harvest date, no indication of single origin, and no accountability on the label. The oil is sourced from bulk suppliers who specialize in quantity, not quality, and it's often stored and transported in plastic or clear containers, accelerating degradation through light and heat exposure before it even hits the store shelf. Customer complaints range from a plastic aftertaste to oil that smells stale the moment it's opened. That's not olive oil. That's chemically stabilized grease in a bottle. Iberia exists to fill the lowest price point in the category. But if your health, flavor, or food integrity matters to you, this is one brand that should never see the inside of your kitchen. Safeway's Select Olive Oil tries to present itself as a reliable, affordable option. But behind the basic branding lies a product that delivers exactly what you'd expect from store-grade, bulk-sourced oil, the bare minimum. Labeled as extra virgin, Safeway Select offers none of the hallmarks that define real extra virgin olive oil. There is no harvest date, no mention of olive variety, no country of origin specifics, and absolutely no third-party testing or certification. This is oil sourced through commodity brokers whose main goal is hitting price points, not producing quality. The result? A product that tastes flat, processed, and sometimes even stale. Without proper cold pressing, storage, and bottling practices, olive oil rapidly loses its polyphenols, the antioxidants that provide both health benefits and that signature peppery bite. Safeway Select? It's pepperless, lifeless, and chemically dull. Customer reports frequently mention rancid or off flavors, which suggests the oil may already be oxidized before it even reaches the shelf. And with no dark glass packaging or protective measures, what little integrity the oil may have had breaks down fast under fluorescent supermarket lights. Let's be honest, this is oil created for mass distribution, not nutrition. It's designed to sit on a shelf for months, not deliver freshness or health value. Safeway Select is what happens when a brand chooses cost-cutting over care. It's not an olive oil worth trusting, cooking with, or consuming regularly. It's a store brand that tastes exactly like what it is, a shortcut. Now that we've exposed the brands cutting corners, it's time to focus on something more important: how to identify the real thing. Because not all olive oils are equal. Some are chemically stripped and blended, others are handled with care, harvested at the right time, and cold-pressed for purity. If you want the health benefits of olive oil, not just the flavor, you need to know what to look for. Here's how to tell if you're getting the good stuff. First, always check for a harvest date. Most mass-market bottles only show a best by or expiration date, but that's not enough. What you want is the actual harvest date, the month and year the olives were picked and pressed. Real extra virgin olive oil starts losing nutritional value within months. If there's no harvest date, the producer is probably hiding how old the oil really is. Second, dark bottles only. Light is the enemy of olive oil. It destroys antioxidants and accelerates oxidation. That's why real producers use dark green glass, metal tins, or fully opaque packaging. If the oil is sold in clear glass or plastic, it's already degrading under store lights, even before you open it. Third, single origin matters. Avoid vague labels that say product of Italy or packed in Spain. These don't tell you where the olives were grown, just where the oil was bottled. Blended oils often come from multiple countries with no quality control. Look instead for bottles that clearly state a single country, region, or estate. The more specific, the more likely the oil is traceable and fresh. Fourth, cold pressed within hours. Real extra virgin olive oil is made without heat or chemicals. The olives are crushed mechanically, often using a stone or steel press. But timing matters just as much as method. The olives should be pressed within 6 to 12 hours of harvest. Any longer, and fermentation can begin, lowering the oil's quality and raising acidity. Look for terms like early harvest, cold pressed, or first pressing. Fifth, certified purity. If a bottle claims to be extra virgin but doesn't back that claim with independent testing, that's a red flag. The best oils are certified by organizations like the California Olive Oil Council or carry EU-protected designation of origin seals. These labels mean the oil has passed strict tests for freshness, purity, and polyphenol content. Sixth, real olive oil stings. Don't be afraid of a bitter, peppery kick in the back of your throat. That's actually a sign of high polyphenol content, the compounds responsible for olive oil's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. A good oil should smell grassy or fruity and taste bold, slightly bitter or spicy. If the oil tastes flat, greasy, or like nothing at all, it's likely old, oxidized, or refined. Finally, price can be a clue, but not always. Real extra virgin olive oil is labor-intensive to produce. Harvesting by hand, pressing quickly, and storing it properly takes effort. That's why good olive oil usually costs more. But high price doesn't always mean high quality. Branding can fool you. Always look beyond the label. In short, real olive oil is traceable, fresh, cold-pressed, and unblended. It's stored in dark containers and proudly shares its harvest date. It has flavor, character, and health benefits that processed oils simply can't match. If the bottle you're holding doesn't check these boxes, it's time to put it back. Because real olive oil isn't just food, it's medicine. And you deserve to know what's in your kitchen. Brightland is one of the few modern olive oil brands that delivers exactly what it promises: freshness, purity, and full transparency. Founded in California by a woman who discovered most supermarket olive oils were fake or rancid, Brightland was created to set a new standard in what olive oil should be. Unlike mass-market oils that blend from unknown sources, Brightland uses single-estate olives grown in California on family-owned groves. The olives are harvested at peak ripeness and cold-pressed within 90 minutes, preserving maximum flavor and nutritional content. This level of care is rare, and it shows in the final product. Every bottle of Brightland lists the harvest date, olive varietal, and region, so you know exactly what you're getting and when it was made. They also publish third-party lab results, verifying high polyphenol content and confirming that the oil meets true extra virgin standards, with no signs of refinement or adulteration. The flavor is what you'd expect from real olive oil: bold, grassy, slightly bitter, with a peppery finish that tells you the antioxidants are alive. It's not blended, it's not deodorized, and it's never stored in plastic. Brightland uses dark, UV-protected glass to ensure shelf stability without compromising quality. It's not the cheapest bottle on the shelf, but it's real. And in a category flooded with fraud and filler, Brightland is one of the few American olive oil brands that earns your trust with every drop. Morocco Gold is not just a premium olive oil. It's a carefully controlled, single-estate product made with purpose and scientific precision. While many brands rely on vague blends and imported bulk oil, Morocco Gold does the opposite. Every bottle contains oil from a single olive variety, the Picholine, grown, harvested, and pressed on a single estate in Morocco's fertile foothills. There are no blends, no fillers, and no shortcuts. The olives are hand-picked at peak freshness, then cold-pressed within a strict time window, often just 2 to 4 hours after harvest. This process locks in nutrients and preserves the oil's high polyphenol levels, which are responsible for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. But Morocco Gold goes even further. Every batch is lab-tested by independent analysts, and the results are published publicly. These tests confirm the oil's chemical profile meets and exceeds international standards for extra virgin classification. That means low acidity, high antioxidant levels, and zero defects. The flavor is intense and unmistakable, fruity, peppery, with a balanced finish that lingers. It's packaged in UV-blocking, elegantly designed bottles that protect the oil from light and oxidation. In a marketplace filled with deception, Morocco Gold stands out as a brand built on integrity. If you want traceability, purity, and performance, not just marketing claims, this is one of the few oils that delivers exactly what it says on the label. When people think of high-quality olive oil, they usually picture Italy, Greece, or Spain. But tucked away in the limestone-rich soils of central Texas, Texas Hill Country Olive Company is quietly producing some of the purest olive oil in the United States, and it rivals anything coming out of the Mediterranean. This is a family-run estate, not a bottling operation for bulk imports. Every olive tree is grown on their land in Dripping Springs, Texas. The olives are hand-harvested and cold-pressed on site, often within hours, using state-of-the-art extraction equipment that preserves delicate polyphenols and keeps acidity levels low. What makes this company truly stand out is its full traceability. Every bottle comes from a single harvest, a single variety, and a single location. No blending, no mystery sourcing, and no diluted imports. They publish lab results showing high antioxidant content and zero signs of refinement or adulteration. Unlike mass-market oils that lose their integrity in shipping containers and warehouses, Texas Hill Country Olive Co. produces small batches with tight quality control from grove to bottle. Their packaging is opaque and designed to protect against light degradation, ensuring the oil you get is as close to fresh pressed as possible. The flavor? Clean, bold, slightly grassy with a peppery finish. Exactly what you want in a real extra virgin olive oil. It's proof that American soil, when treated right, can produce world-class olive oil without the baggage of global supply chains. So now you know the truth. 11 olive oil brands you should avoid, and 4 that actually deliver what the label promises. In a market flooded with blends, seed oil fillers, and marketing deception, choosing the right olive oil isn't just about flavor. It's about your health, your clarity, and your right to know what you're feeding your body. The good news? You don't have to guess anymore. You've seen which brands are hiding behind labels and which ones are standing behind their product with transparency, testing, and real standards. Now it's your move. Check your pantry, flip the bottle, look for the harvest date, ask where your oil really comes from, and if the answers aren't clear, throw it out. Your body deserves better than industrial grease in a glass bottle pretending to be extra virgin. If this video helped you make a smarter choice, hit that like button, subscribe for more fact-based food investigations, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown the food industry doesn't want you to see. Drop a comment below. Tell us which brand shocked you most and which one you're switching to today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.